you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. As my dad would say, I'm finer than frog's hair. Oh my goodness. And it sounds like all sorts of havoc is breaking loose on your end.
Oh,
So we
it's
have
right across
got
the
some
street.
big news here tonight. We've got some really cool stuff happening here, so we are really looking forward to it. We're just going to wait for Will to bring us in on his end, and then we will go ahead and get started.
Yo, what's going on? YouTube is WGG here. How's everyone doing today? Also, aka also known as Will T Gaming FS Encyclopedia. What up? I actually like that intro.
Heck yeah, why not? Gotta get into what you do.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, Bree went to go investigate because it. Yeah, well, no wonder why. It's because the fire.
Well, it's the apartment building over here.
Oh. Oh, apparently we smell something burning coming from the apartment building right next door to us. Almost.
Uh-oh.
We're good.
Yeah, so needless to say, you all could probably hear things going on in the background there at Will's place. Yeah, it sounds like the entire fire services are over there at the moment, so have fun with that.
We're okay though. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Hopefully everybody's okay.
Yeah, right?
So, Will, do we want to let people in on a little surprise?
Yes, we do. And before we begin, I want to give a massive shout out to Munchies for this. Munchies with a Z's. He was nice enough to allow us to use the same credit. So
Yeah, big shout out to Munchies because this I think this is awesome. This is awesome, and I'm so stoked for this. So without any further ado, what do you say, Will? Let's go ahead and show off the little surprise.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
We talk gears, we talk that horsepower. Late night mob drops, we got that.
Oh man.
Um,
Will, are you still there?
yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, my face feels like it's about to melt off because I'm grinning from ear to ear.
Oh, love it. Love
Oh
it.
man, that song just pumps me up so hard
Okay.
every time. Munchies, thank you so much, man. That thing is amazing, amazing.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I've probably listened to that song probably dozens and dozens of times already.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, the very first thing I did when y'all reached out to me about this, the very first thing is I went and grabbed my wife. It's like, babe, you are not gonna believe this. I'm in a song,
That's exactly what I
and
did to
she's like,
Brie.
oh my goodness. It is, yeah, it is awesome. And if you haven't checked out Munchie's channel, go check it out. Munchies, go ahead and put your channel name in the description or in the chat there. He's got other songs such as FS Till I Die or Mod Hub Madness.
Good one.
Go check them out. They are so good. So good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It is Munchies Plays. So,
Yes.
if anyone is wondering. Well, shall we get on to doing mods?
I don't know. After that, how can we follow up anything after that? I mean, I,
Yeah.
real quick though, before we do, let me go ahead and read off the chat here. So we got Rail Fanning Jonah 1.3,
I'll be right back.
1.3. No, all right, man. Oh man, Jonah, no. After hearing that song, there is no 1.3 anymore. That eclipses 1.3. Woo. Ken says 1.3. Why? Why did I have to be 1.3? Real Fanning Jonas says better than 1.2. How are you both doing tonight? Hope you're having fantastic days so far. I know I sure am. Munchies Plays says howdy y'all. This is the same Munchies who made that song. It is, oh man, am I pumped. I'm so pumped. Ah, let's go, let's go. We got Jonah says, why do you do it, Will? Ah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Ken says, BDD, you sound a little... Yeah, so unfortunately, there's not much I can do that right now because you can see the room behind me is completely empty besides all the crud that's on all around me. So... yeah, it's one of those where unfortunately it's just not much I can do until I can get some dampening for the walls. So bear with me. I do apologize. I'm working as hard as I can to get the room up to snuff. Let's see. Munchies says you guys deserve it. Again, man, thank you so much. We got Ken says got the thumbs up and the 100%. Jonah says love it. Ken says, rock into channel, BDD and Will T. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got Munchies says, you guys are so welcome. We will do more stuff together soon. Oh, man, I can't wait. Can't wait. Jonah with a $1.99 super chat says, where can I find that song? It's rocking, right? It's so good. So good. And then Munchies plays. Yep. So again, Munchies, thank you so much, man. That is
And
we're in a song, Will.
I'm-
We're in a song.
I'm gonna tell you what though, it was very hard to choose between the three though.
Oh, yeah, they were all good. They were all good, but both Will and I thought that one kind of like put it over the top.
Okay, I don't know about you, but my personal favorite part was the beginning when it was like rock and then it cut out and then it literally said you and me, or it was me and you, and then it cut right back to the rock part again.
Yep, yep. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, just the that is like my type of music, like in a nutshell. Like I'm definitely into like rock, country, a little bit of rap, a little bit, but like that rock, like that specific song style, that's my kind of jam.
Well, see, because I mean I specifically asked them to see if you can mix rock and rap together, and that turned out really good.
Oh yeah, yep, 100%, 100%. But we hope everybody here enjoyed it, because as you can tell, we certainly did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, and I think I annoyed my wife after hearing it for the 100th time.
Oh man, I've been playing it in the car. I've been
Oh
playing
yeah.
it in the house. I've been playing it on the speakers.
See,
Like, oh yeah,
see,
my wife's done with it.
see that one, the third one, which was like the full-on rap one I sent you,
Hmm.
and also Mod Hub Madness. I've been listening to those like constantly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mod Hub
So,
Madness, FS Till I Die, and that one have been constant repeats here. So,
uh, yo, I just thought about it.
what's that?
Yo, whenever that time comes, well, that if Bree and I ever can make it down there to see you guys like within the next year or two, yo, as soon as we get down there, we're gonna have to blast it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Just to annoy them a little bit more.
Oh man. All right, shall we continue on?
Oh, can't we talk about the song more? Like, come on.
No, well, because, well, so when I reached out to Munchie Plays though about that, he asked me specifically if there was like any type of word or anything that I wanted in it. So I basically just summarized it up. I told him what you like, what I liked, and he basically just made everything fit to a T. And yeah, because he said that he has heard of you, and he just heard of me when I first commented on his bot of madness. I'm like, but but hey, you know what? We got a song. That's all that matters, right?
Oh, we do, we do.
So, uh, well, because I was when I was sitting there one day, I literally just thought to myself, I'm like, yo, wouldn't this be awesome? So I ended up asking, because I remember you telling me that that you wish that one day that your name would be in a song. I'm like, yo, I wonder if he can make one for Agribussness.
Oh yeah. No, and then you reached out and sent that to me, and he sent it to me on the side. I'm like, no, this now exists.
It's out
I
there.
think I literally, like after listening to it, I was like, dreams do come true.
I know, right? We're getting official.
Oh, oh, dude, it was dream come true.
Oh man.
All right, well, I guess we ought to move on with our show and all.
Yeah. Well, even though I know we could, I honestly could just go back through and play that song over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Well, all right. So, all right, let's get a move on, or we'll never get through. So the very first mod. So these are Friday mods. So the first one's gonna be the John Deere S790 EU. This is by Ben. It's gonna be 41.18 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $351,000. You have a horsepower of between 547 and 625. You do have a capacity of 14,100 liters.
I like it. I like this one. This is definitely a good one. But it's that megabyte. It always boils down to the megabytes. So let's take a look at our comparables because, that's what we do around here. We've got a harvester that will hold 14,100 liters. So that puts us right into the, yeah, we'll say the Class Lexion 6900 series. So this one here is $351,000, which isn't too terrible compared to the Lexion, which base price is 405,500. So you're talking about 50 grand cheaper for the mod here. And then you're talking horsepower, the Lexion is 507. This is 547. So base, that's pretty good. So you got more power, more capacity, and a cheaper price. So it's all good except for that file size. That file size at 42 megabytes that's a lot. That's a lot of space. So I can see this one taking a spot because of the, things I mentioned before, but all in all, it's not on my machine as of yet. It might find its way in there at some point.
Right. I mean, as soon as I can get the game working back on my PC again, that will definitely be on my PC. But I pass it on console though. Let's see here. Next one would be the John Deere S600 series. This is by JHHG Modding. There's gonna be 68.85 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $205,000. You do have a horsepower range between 547 and 625. Capacity between 14,100 to 22,905. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Again, copy and paste everything I said from the previous one to this one. Again, it's an amazing mod. Both of them were amazing mods, and this one is even more amazing because of the price. The price of this is $205,000. It's the same comparable, so it's the Class Lexion 6900 at $405,000. This is $205,000. So I mean, you're already talking, $200,000 in savings. That's worth a look-see right off the bat. The, horsepower, again, 507 for the class versus 547 for this John Deere. So you're getting cheaper product, a little bit bigger horsepower, and a bigger capacity. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. But again, even worse is the 69 megabytes to install. So this one, honestly, I could see this one weaseling its way in before the other one because of that huge price difference. Over $200,000 price savings right off the bat. So, yeah, all in all, yeah, I could see this one making it.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Russell Mash Torum 770 pack. This is by Weekend Farmers. Aaron Modding, I guess you pronounce it. It's going to be 44.56 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $349,500. You do have a horsepower of 520. You do have a capacity of 12,300 liters. You have a fuel tank capacity of 850. I think that's what that is. And it does come with the Brussels Mash Power Stream 900. This is the rain header for it. You do have a price tag of $56,500. You do working with 9 meters. This was a pass for me.
This one is not only a pass, but it's a hard pass, and here's why. Again, 45 megabytes to install. That's already a pretty chunky file size. And then you're talking the price. The closest comparable we have is the Case Axle Flow 7150 at $301,500. This is already almost 50 grand more expensive, and you have a 45 megabyte install. So negative, negative. Then you take a look at the horsepower. The Case has 449. This has 520, so it does have a little bit better horsepower. But you take a look at the capacities. The capacity is 12,300 for this. The Case is 10,570. So this one does have a little bit more capacity. About what is that? About less than 2,000 liters of capacity. But is that worth $50,000? To me, it's not. So this is unfortunately a pass. But it does look good.
Oh yeah. So your next one, which we were actually talking about this earlier. Next one is going to be the Kloss Axion 800-870. This is by Igo Ryan and Mac. It's going to be 29.65 megabytes to download. You do have a price range between $185,000 to $230,000. You do have a horsepower range between 205 and 295. I love it. And it does have US specs on it, which is absolutely phenomenal. It also has twin wheels.
Yeah, this one's nice. This is just over my threshold when it comes to the megabyte size. only by, less than 5 megabytes. So not a horrible file size, but this one does come with a lot of those kind of things that will, allow you to tweak it to make it really nice. So we're talking our closest comparable, if I would have queued this up and thought smarter. We got a tractor with 205 horsepower, so we're talking about the Fendt 700 Vario comparable, and the base horsepower for that is 203 horsepower. This is 205, so you get a little bit better. The Fendt is $249,500. This is $185,000 in base price, so you're saving quite a bit of money. Almost what is that? $65,000 right off the bat. Booyah, that's nice. And you get what, 2 extra horsepower again right off the bat. Very nice. So yeah, it's a little bit over the megabyte size, but all in all, it's nice. You got bigger power and far cheaper. So I get it.
Yeah. So next one is going to be the Fendt 500 Vario series. This is by Paul. Oh, I'm sorry, Paul, period. It's going to be 50.99 megabytes to download. You do have 3 separate tractors in here. So you have the Fendt 500 Vario Gen 3. You have a base price tag of $152,000. You have a horsepower of 131. Then you have the Fendt 500 Vario S4, which all these can be found on their small tractors. You do have a base price of $140,250. You do have a horsepower of 131. And then you have the Fendt 500 Vario SCR, which has a base price of $133,500 and your horsepower of 131. This was a pass for me.
Yeah, it's a pass for me as well. 51 megabytes to install, that's already a pretty big file size. But then you consider adding 51 megabytes for a tractor that we pretty much already have. We have a Fendt 500 Vario base.
Right.
So yeah, these are supposed to be older models, like you got the Gen 3, the S4, and the SCR. Okay, fine, that's all nice and dandy. But then let's take a look at our prices and whatnot. The Gen 3, 152,500. This is also comparable, 152,500. So it's literally the same exact tractor, same price, same horsepower, the whole 9 yards. The other two, yeah, there's a little bit of savings. You get $10,000 of savings for the S4, and then about $20,000 of savings for the SCR. So yeah, all in all, it's just not worth it. Again, to have opening windows and things like that, it's just not worth it for me personally. So unfortunately, it's a pass.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard Trek 600. This is by Black Sheep Modding. This is going to be 28.14 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $190,000. You'll find this under mulchers. You have a horsepower of 305. You have a fuel capacity of 600 liters. I love this.
Same here. Yep, this is a great one. A little bit over the megabyte threshold that I tend to care for. It's at 29 megabytes. So, I mean, we're talking an extra 4 megabytes for this particular machine, but it's a very powerful machine. This is a destroyer of trees. If you're looking to remove trees off your map quickly and easily, this is going to be one of them. It's very similar to the tree devourer in that regard, except this one doesn't give you an output of wood chips and stuff. This one just does the deleting. But 190,000, 305 horsepower, all in all, it's a nice little mod. If you want something that is completely independent from any kind of attachments or anything like that, it's a cool little unit. So yeah, I would install this.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard Next. This is by Axery. This is going to be 78.86 megabytes to download. I'm not going to go over all these configurations, but there's multiple configurations. Well, maybe I can. You have the Lizard Next 44202, which is the truck itself. You do have a base price of $84,800. You do have a horsepower range between 312 and 600. And then you have the Lizard Next 5557-SU. This is dump truck. So you have unloading sides left or right. You do have a base price of $96,000. You do have a horsepower range between 312 and 600. You do have capacities between 14,000, 17,000, and 21,000. Then you have the Lizard Next 5557-AC. This is also a dump truck. Unloading style back. You have a base price of $92,000. You do have a horsepower range between 312 and 600. You do have capacities between 10,000, 12,000, and 16,000. And then finally, you have the Lizard Next 4320-60 UST-5453. This is a timber truck. You have a base price of $87,000. Horsepower range between 312 and 600. That's it. This was a pass for me.
Yeah, this is a pass for me as well. Although I do like the look of it. It's a very nice, beefy looking truck. But the problem is, as it always is for me, is that file size. Almost 79 megabytes to install this. Yeah, you get a couple of different versions of the same truck and whatnot, but all in all, it's just not worth it for me personally. And you're also talking something with 300 horsepower as a kind of introductory price at 90-ish thousand, roughly 90,000 for all the different configurations. And you figure that for the same amount of money, for $93,000, we can get the Anthem 6x4 for $93,500, and that is a 425 horsepower base. So all in all, it's going to do pretty much the same thing. Yeah, you don't have to buy the tipper trailers and stuff. This will come with it based on what version you get, but it's just one of those that me personally, I'm going to pass on this just because it's just not something I need desperately enough to be able to overlook that megabyte size.
Right. Next one is going to be the Randon Rototerm Bulk Carrier. This is by Agribussness. It's going to you have a downloadable wow. This is going to be 47.71 megabytes to download. This is over the front bulk carrier. You have a capacity of 35,000 liters. You have a base price of $57,000. Then you have the rear bulk carrier with dolly. You have a capacity of 35,000 liters. You have a base price of $64,000. This was a pass for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is a pass for me as well. We're talking almost 50 megabytes to install this one, 48 megabytes total. And yeah, you get a couple of tipper trailers and all that stuff. All fine and dandy. But again, what I look for in my trailers is that price per thousand to be under $1,000 per 1,000 liters. And this one just right off the rip just doesn't meet that. So not only are you getting a high megabyte size here at 48 megabytes, but you're getting a nearly $2,000 per 1,000 liter for your dollar per liter value that I personally look for. So all in all, yeah, it's a nice little trailer. If you like Randon, then be my guest. Don't let anything that we're saying stop you. But me personally, it just doesn't meet my qualifications, my needs for a trailer.
Right. Next one is going to be the Crampy SB2 30/1070. This is by Hispano. This is going to be 4.88 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $84,000. You do have a capacity of 58,000 liters. This was a pass for me.
So this one I will actually entertain at 4.88 megabytes, so 5 megabytes to install. And we take a look at the price per 1,000. We're talking $84,000 at 58,000 liter capacity. So you are over that $1,000 per 1,000 liters, but taking a look at some of our comparables, if I can. No, it's not under that section. It's under this one. So we have the, let's see, 50. Yeah, probably closest one is going to be the other Crampy SKS 30/1050 at $95,000 to purchase. So you're already talking that this is a little bit cheaper, and the capacity for the base game one is 59,400. This is 58,000. So you do save a considerable amount, about 11 grand for this particular trailer, and it only costs you, let's see, about 1,400 liters and 5 megabytes. So all in all, it's not a bad pickup. And you do save quite a bit of money at that 11 grand for that, for that price difference. So, all in all, yeah, I would probably install this one.
Yeah. Let's see here. Next one is me the Jan Tanker Small Series. This is by Sir Vertex and Tilk Modding. It's going to be 41.22 megabytes to download. So the Jan Tanker 10.500. These are all going to be under Agribussness, just so everyone know. You do have a base price of $18,000. You do have a horsepower requirement of 70. You do have a capacity range between 10,500 to 14,000 liters. Then you have the Jan Tanker 12,000. You do have a base price of $19,000, horsepower requirement of 75. You do have a capacity between 12,000 up to 15,500. And then last but not least, you got the Jan Tanker 15,000. You have a base price of $21,000. Recommend your horsepower requirement is 80. And you do have a capacity range between 15,000 to 18,000 liters. This was a pass for me.
Yeah, same here. So 42 megabytes to install, which is really tall for, a auger wagon or even a series of auger wagons. But what does make this tempting, really does, is the prices and the capacities. So really the kind of introductory auger wagon that we have that will take most of our bulk goods is the Demco 850 single auger grain cart, $68,500 to purchase that. So right off the bat, even the largest of all these is only $21,000. So you're going to save $40,000 and get yourself a introductory auger wagon. Now you can have 15,000 liters of capacity, which is only half of a cutting from the Demco, because the Demco holds 30,000 liters. But you're not paying double the price or for the Demco. You're paying almost $70,000 for that Demco. You can get into this one for 21,000. So you're paying actually more than a third of the savings for this particular one. But again, that file size though makes it really hard for me. So unfortunately, it's a pass.
Let's see here. Next is going to be the Feltrina Dumper MR3A. This is by the SMI modding team. It's going to be 10.67 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $45,500. You do have a horsepower requirement of 200 plus, and you do have a capacity of 42,000 liters. That's actually very close to the price range.
Yeah. Yep. And that's exactly what I was going to point out. For 11 megabytes to install, not too intrusive on file size. 45,500 and a 42,000 liter capacity, you're talking nearly, it's not quite, but nearly $1,000 per 1,000 liters. So right there off the bat, it meets all the requirements of file size and price per 1,000. Now, if we take a look at some of our comparables, we've got a capacity of 42,000. So probably the closest one is going to be the Crampy Rambody AS 750 Plus. That has a price of $71,500. So this is nearly half the price of the Crampy. And capacities for the Crampy, 48,600 liters. This is 42,000. So cheaper, bigger, and not that intrusive of a file size. Yeah, download this one all day, all night.
Right. The next one is going to be the Hilco Wrap Twine Remover. This is by JHHG Modding. This is going to be 5.62 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $9,950. It does weigh 540 kilograms, if anyone's wondering. So, and you will find this under front loader tools. I think this is awesome. I mean, you can also use it up on a skid steer or a 3-point, but I absolutely love it using a skid steer, especially if you have to, give like loose straw to certain animals. You can do it pretty easily.
I love this thing. I absolutely love it. There's really not much that you can compare to with this. I mean, we've got straw blowers, which is about the closest thing, but this doesn't work on just straw. This works on grass. This works on hay. Anything that's in a bale, it'll make it loose. So that's awesome. Now that we have a way to kind of go back and forth as to the creation and now, quote unquote, the deletion of bales, this is fantastic. I absolutely love it. And it works for all of them, unlike a straw blower, which will only work on straw. So, yeah, if you want to buy bales, make bales, and then use the loose product, like if you have a pen that will only take loose product, but you want to use bales because it's more convenient or whatever your reasoning is,
Right.
here you go. You can now do it, and you don't have to have it with any sort of limitation.
Right. Which is fantastic. So your next one is going to be the Vicon FanX 604. This is by Private and Rick Black LaBelle. It is going to be 5.16 megabytes of download. You do have a base price of $11,000. You do have a horsepower requirement of 60 and a working width of 6.1 meters. This was a pass for me.
So the reason I'm sitting here giggling is, and I'm sure I made this joke the last time we came across Private, but for some reason it just all of a sudden dawned on me, the whole airplane reference. Roger, Roger, what's your vector, Victor? Anyways, 5.16 megabytes to install. So 6 megabytes to install and a 6.1 meter working with $11,000. That's really all that kind of sounds good right off the bat. So let's go ahead and take a look at our comparables. So we're talking 6.1 meters. There's really not a good comparable because this one's kind of an in-betweensy. We've got the Poniger Alpenhit 4.4H, which is a 4.4 meter tedder. And then we got the Krone Vendro 820 Highland, and that is a 8.2. So this one right in the middle at 6.1 meters is pretty close to right in the middle. Now we take a look at the prices. We got 11,000 for the Vicon here. Well, the price for the Poniger is 6,000. The price for the Krone is 15,500. Again, right in the middle. And horsepower requirements, Pottinger, 30 horsepower, Krone, 65. This is 60. So this one's not really in the middle for horsepower, but everything else is. If you're looking for something that's right in the middle, like of the Pottinger and right in the middle of the Krone, then hey, this is going to be what you're looking for, and it's not that intrusive on the file size. So although for me, I would either use the Krone or the Pottinger because neither one of them are that expensive. If you're looking for an in-between, see, here it is.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Fliegel Long Neck Combi Plus. This is by HR Forest and Verzoekbouw. This is going to be 3.53 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $3,500. This was a pass for me.
I mean, I don't do a ton of forestry or anything like that, but this is essentially just a wood crane with a kick plate to it for your front end loaders, 3-point links, things like that. It's for your small logging operations that you want to just kind of move some lumber around. Me personally, it's not something I could see utilizing, but for 4 megabytes to install and 3,500, it's not that intrusive and it's not that pricey. So all in all, it's pretty nice.
I mean, for me, I just don't do forestry, period. Just give me the T-Rex.
Yeah, yep, delete and go.
Let's see.
You mind if I catch up with the chat real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Mark K, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. You sent a $1 super chat. Thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate it. I think I left off with, I think, Munchies Plays said, I have a post on my channel for ideas for the next song. That is going to be awesome. So yeah, go check out his channel there and give some ideas of some songs that you want to be made. That would be really cool to have some participation from the audience here. Let's see. We got Jonah says that'll be a good new intro to this. 100%. Yes. So that's going to be the goal, is to work that song into an actual introductory clip for both of our channels here. So looking forward to that one. Let's see. Munchie says, "You're gonna make me blush." LOL. I mean, you deserve a lot of praise for that one, bud.
Yeah.
You really do. It's a really good one.
Mhm.
Oh, and Mark K with a $5 super chat says Midnight Train by Journey. No, no, we can't play copyrighted music. Hence the reason why we got Munchies to
Yep.
make us a new intro song. So absolutely loved it. If you haven't heard it, wait until after the stream and then go back to the beginning. I might even play it again later on in the stream.
Oh
It's
yeah.
that darn good.
Hmm.
It is that good. So we'll you know what? That's exactly what I'll do is I'll play it towards the end of the stream as well.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we got Alicia. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hey. And we got Ken says Snap Jonah was thinking the same thing. We got Luke's Gaming. How's it going, Luke? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Said hi, everyone. Ken says welcome, Alicia and Luke. Munchie says love Klaus. Absolutely.
Oh
We
yeah.
got Jonas saying I love KHI Ace. Got Munchie says, I hope 1.9 fixes precision farming. Yes, yes, really hope that it does because I know there's a bunch of contract issues that I've come across in regards to like cultivating and seeding. It just doesn't recognize a tram line, so you can't complete the contracts. Anyways, that's kind of the side note. But yeah, really hope 1.9 does come through for that one. Mark K with the emoji as well as not just not a John Deere, okay? I'm right there with you, Mark. Will might have some things to say about it, but
Oh, I do.
that's
John Deere.
we got Mark saying aw shucks. We got Jonas says he took the midnight train going anywhere. Oh, Mark with the pounding heart, love it. Whiskey, how's it going, Whiskey? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hey there, BDD. Luke says yeah, I changed my name. Oh, nice. And then we got Whiskey saying, "Hey there to Jonah," and I am all caught up.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean we'll definitely have to do that. Play it at the end.
Oh yeah, yeah, I definitely plan on doing it again because dang, does that song hit? It
Right.
hits good.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Borgolt XR770 Hero. This is by Hispano. This is going to be 16.32 megabytes to download. Um, you do have a price tag of $59,500, or base price, I should say. You do have working with between 21.3 and 27.4. You do have a horsepower requirement of 350. I passed on this. I mean, the only reason why I passed on it is because we got the Elmer's base game. It's just like this.
So here's my question: is that this is categorized under mulchers, and then it says under category yield improvement weeders. So
Yeah,
is this a mulcher? Is this a weeder?
um, I actually reached out to Hispano. He's sending an update in for it to fix it, but it's not supposed to be under mulchers. It's supposed to be under weeders.
Gotcha. Okay. So taking a look under weeders, we got to take a look at our comparables. 16.32 megabytes to install, so you're talking 17 megabytes, not that bad. 59,500 to purchase and 21.3 meter working with. All in all, you're talking not that intrusive, doesn't seem like it's that bad of a price, and 23 or 22 meter working with, not that bad. So let's take a look at our comparables. We have probably closest one is going to be the Nbach Aerostar Classic XXL 2400. And we have that one at a working width of 24 meters. So this one starts at 21.3. So it's a little bit smaller, not by much. But then we take a look at our prices. 67,500 for the Nbach. This is 59.5. So you're going to save a little bit of money, but you're also getting a smaller weeder. And then we take a look at what may be the tipping point for some people, the horsepower. The horsepower for this one here is 350. So that is quite a bit of horsepower, especially when you consider that for a bigger and slightly more expensive weeder, you only need 200 horsepower. So all in all, that means you're going to have a much bigger tractor. I mean, you're talking even at base, You're talking do we even have a medium at that size? No.
Like an
So
8R.
three. Yeah, you're talking 8R series is yeah, 8R or the New Holland T8 Genesis. So you're
Ugh,
talking even if you go with the New Holland, you're talking
ugh.
$300,000 just to be able to lug this thing around.
Don't go for New
So
Holland. Go for John Deere.
yeah, but then you're talking $400,000. So I mean, yeah, you can spend the 400,000 and get the nice John Deere, or you can spend 300,000 and get the Genesis. But the problem is, again, you're spending $300,000 when you could go with the base game one and just go with a 200 horsepower vehicle, which is only going to run you about 250K. You can even get a little bit cheaper, maybe, if you go with like the Valtra T series at 168K. So, I mean, all in
Yo,
all, yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one.
well, like, what about the Elmer's base game? Isn't that about the exact same working with?
I didn't think it was. Let me double check. Hold please. Elmer's is starts out at 15.3 meters. So you can upgrade it to 27.3.
Oh, yeah. But still, that right there is a big reason why I didn't pick that one is because we have the Elmer's base game. So,
Yep.
let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard BI 755. This is by Vulex and IMT modding. This is going to be 2.63 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $1,250. You have a horsepower requirement of 30. You have a working width of 0.8 meters. Pass.
Add point 0.5. And for those out there who understand that reference, look back to the first comment from Jonah much earlier in the stream here. You'll get it then. 1.3. 1.3. Unfortunately, 2.63 megabytes to install. You're talking very small file size, so that's not bad. A price tag of 1,250. That's not bad. Horsepower, 30 horsepower. That's not bad. zero point 0.8 meters. This thing is so small. It's so small, and it's a chiselback. Oh my. What's that?
I said, oh, perfect. Vineyard work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and what's funny is I don't even think in the screenshots it shows anything for vineyard work. It's showing like you're in the middle of this massive field in screenshot number 3. You're in this massive field and it's like, oh my goodness, this thing is gonna take like until I'm 90 to finish that field. Like, holy smokes. Now, again, because we're gonna do our due diligence, closest comparable is the Pottinger Servo 25. It has a working with a 1.2. One off from 1.3 or zero point 0.1. So we're talking this thing is already 4.4 meters bigger than this one here, the mod. But then we look at prices. Prices 1,250 versus $14,000. It's a huge price savings. Huge. So maybe if you're wanting to be really, 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 really cheap, really cheap, then maybe go with this. But again, it's a chiselback. It's a chiselback. So, pass.
So Whiskey Creek Farms Lily just asked me, why do you dislike New Holland so much, Will? I'll tell you why. Every single person that I've known that's ever owned a New Holland, including my father, who has a New Holland baler, has had nothing but problems with them. So now
I will be the first person that will say that I have not had a problem with ours.
so
We had a New Holland like personal. It was their smallest itty bitty one. I can't remember what it was. My dad had it, and it had the front loader and all that stuff, and it worked fine. It worked fine, but yeah. So I don't have the burning hatred that Will does for New Holland, but but I can sympathize because it's a Ford. So
Yeah, I'm on road dead. You know.
on road dead.
Yeah. Let's see here. Um, no, so the um, someone a farmer down the road from me that where I used to live. Um, he owned a New Holland Discbine. That thing broke down on him so much that he ended up getting a case version. But I'm just saying. He says, but that is real life. That is in real life, not in the game at all. Still, I refuse. I mean, not refuse. I take that back. Okay, I'll take that back. I don't refuse because I'm using the New Holland Discbine, but that's just because I like how it puts it in swaths, like it puts it in rows.
Yep.
You know, if it didn't put it in rows and it was still like that from here, I would never install it. You know, I'm just saying. But but as soon as the case version comes out, which I know it will, well, buy New Holland.
See ya.
Like literally, that is probably the only New Holland you'll ever see me use on a farm, like in the game. And the only other New Holland I would potentially use if it ever came is the New Holland Derby rig, which is a wheel rig. But other than that, you would never see me using that.
So the next time that you get on a stream, I'm gonna go on there. I'm going to take a whole bunch of screenshots every time I see you play with it, so that way I can just send them to you periodically. Hey, do you remember when you did this?
Oh man, I'm about to get rid of it now. Let's see here. Next one is going to be a Lizard BI 400. This is by Vulex. This is going to be 1.31 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $1,000. You do have a horsepower requirement of 25. You have a working width of 10 meters. You have a capacity of 400 liters. This could also do lime too.
So this is actually a really good one. So 2 megabytes to install, $1,000, 25 horsepower, 10 meter working with, 400 liters. So the closest one we have is a Selac RZK 300H. That one has a working width of 14 meters. So that has a 4 meter bigger working width. But we take a look at everything else. The price. This mod here has $1,000 price tag on it. The Selac has $2,000, so it's half the price. You're not getting half the distance, so that's all right. You're getting a good price there. Then you take a look at the capacities. The mod here has 400. The Selac has 300, so you get an extra 100 liters for that. And again, 2 megabytes to install, not that intrusive. So yeah, you do lose out on working with, but you also get the ability to use both lime and fertilizer with this one, as the Selac only does fertilizer. So all in all, it's a win-win, mostly win-win.
Right.
So I would say go for this one.
Now this next one is a game changer for console players. So the next
Mm-hmm.
one. So this next one is the municipal shovel bundle. This is by CBM Casey Blair Modding. It's going to be 4.35 megabytes to download. I'm not going to read through these, but basically you have different buckets, base game buckets. Basically what this allows you to do is basically tip anywhere. So you can tip it anywhere, you can pick up anywhere. It's a game changer.
This is 100% a game changer. 5 megabytes to install, which is nothing at all. And then it takes all those base game buckets that we have access to and makes it to where you can dump anywhere, pick up anywhere. This is amazing. Now, think about the map, Riverbend Springs, and the area down in the southwest-ish portion, just outside the main farm there, the dredging barge. It dumps all the stones. You can see it here in this screenshot here. the stones that puts on the floor, you have to be able to purchase the land in order to be able to pick up anything. Oop, and I just blasted my microphone in my hand. So you have to be able to own the land in order to pick it up. This overrides that. This makes it to where you can pick it up, dump it out. This is awesome. So if you want that air of realism, unlike what I was doing when I was going on to that map and was doing my series on it, I was using a series of belts. I was using the forage pickup. I was basically doing anything that basically did the same thing that this does, but was the most unrealistic way of doing it. So yeah, this is an absolute game changer. Download it right this second because it is awesome.
Oh yeah, 100%. See here. Next one is gonna. This is actually a new brand into the game too. This is Drowan
Druin.
pack.
Oops.
This is by USM or Universe Simumate. It's gonna be 5.34 megabytes to download. Now, now it does say 1,000 liter for big bag of fertilizer is 1,820. 2,000 liter IBC tank for fertilizer is $3,200. 500 liter pallets of 500 liters. So you have 500 liters. So you have a price which is $800. Now, when I was in the game, and I know someone else pointed this out as well, it was, if I remember correctly, it was either the IBC or the big bag. That was $800 for 2,000 liters. It was the IBC tank, if I remember correctly. So the price on the website's wrong, because in the game it's $800 for 2,000 liters.
So that to me sounds like something that's going to either be, fixed in an update or something like that. It sounds like something was potentially labeled wrong
Right.
in the game rather than here, because everything else kind of lines up with base game prices. And here's the thing: is if that gets updated, then this pack unfortunately means not a whole lot to me personally. I've never been into the whole branded IBC tanks or the big bags or things like that. It's like that stuff never cared. I don't care. The reason that is the reason that I would care about something like this is if it had some kind of savings to it. Like, oh hey, like you said, the 2,000 liter IBC is now $800. And that was how it was intentionally meant to come out, kind of thing. Then I'd be like, ooh, cost savings. Now I care about this one. But this is just basically what I believe is going to be just at the end a branding. So meh. And I can save the 6 megabytes and use it for something else.
Right. Let's see. Next one is going to be the Vertical Wind Turbine Lizard H15. This is by Limbed Moonlight. This is going to be a 3.98 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $45,250. You have a daily upkeep of $7. And you have income per month 0 to 4,800. This was a pass for me.
I mean, if you're looking for a generator, then this could be a good option, and it's certainly a unique looking one. 4 megabytes to install, not that bad. Price, 45,000, it's not that bad either. It's kind of sort of difficult to look up a comparable because, I mean, you really can't, can you? You get kind of rough ranges and stuff, so I'm just kind of looking just to be certain. Yeah, there's really not a good comparable. Let's see, 4,800. Yeah, we really don't have a good base game comparable. So if you're looking for a different style of generator, a different style of windmill, and it is relatively cheaper compared to, like, let's say the small wind turbine at, $155,000 or the big wind turbine at, $750,000. This is less than 50 grand. So yeah, if you want a generator that'll generate you some money and it'll kind of get you in line with the other generators in there, go ahead and check it out. And it's certainly unique looking.
Well, it definitely is very, very unique looking. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Old Grain Mill. This is by Gamer HZSFSH. It's going to be 8.07 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $70,000. You have a daily upkeep of 40. It's basically the exact same price, the exact same recipe as the Grain Mill base game, but I guess it all depends if you want a modern look or an older style look.
Is it though?
I believe it is.
So looking at the grain mill base game, I see a price of $288,000.
Oh,
So if that's the case,
that's something else.
yeah, if that's the case, 9 megabytes to install, 70 grand to purchase, yeah, purchase it. This is going to be a good one. Because as long as it has the same kind of recipe, cycles, and all that stuff as a base game, then yeah, this is gonna be a win.
Let's see. Next one is going to be Vegetable Factory. This is by Weekend Farmers. Um, uh, Duraven, I think they pronounce it Duraven. This is going to be 5.08 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $210,000. See, that's the one I was thinking about. Was that one $210,000?
Gotcha.
You have a daily upkeep of 250, and then you have your recipes. I passed on this.
Now this one I like. 6 megabytes to install, $210,000. So it puts it right in line with the various kind of productions that we have price wise. But what this will do is it'll actually make different styles of outputs. So you can make carrots in a box, peas and carrots. You can have ketchup, chili sauce, chili tomato salad. Got French fries. You got all these different things that you can make out of this factory that isn't part of base game stuff. So all in all, I think this is fantastic. And if you're looking for something to kind of do something a little bit different and have some new recipes, here you go. This is it.
Alright, so out of Friday mods, which one was your favorite?
Oh, now this is the hard question. I'm going to actually pick two because I refuse to say that either one of them are better. Now, I will say that the municipal shovel bundle is a game changer. Is absolutely a game changer. So, you know what? I will put that one just slightly above the other one, but I will say the other one just to say it. The Hilco Wrap Twine Remover. Both of those, I really, really like them because the municipal bucket does, like I said, a game changer where you can pick things up off the ground. You don't have to own the land. You can put it back on the ground. Don't have to own the land. It's fantastic. But that Hilco Wrap does the unwrapping of bales. It makes baling on certain maps with certain, barns and pastures and things like that that only accept loose product. It makes the actual map playable for those who want to do baling. So
Right.
I think both of them are fantastic. What about you? What's yours?
See, I was stuck on several different ones. You know what? I'm gonna end up picking two here as well. For the number 2 slot, it's gonna have to be the Hilco Wrap Twine Remover, which is phenomenal. Then the other one, I struggled between the pick one of these. It was gonna be between the John Deere 600 series and the Lizard Trek 600. I ended up, my number one favorite had to be the John Deere S600 series by J.H.G. Monner.
Gotcha.
There were no map updates. Do you have
And
chat?
if you don't mind, I do. Got quite a bit actually, so let me catch up real quick. So I left off with Mark K saying DRM equal bad. I should be able to repair my own gear. 100%. That's my issue with John Deere as well. We got Jonas saying whiskey. Of course, Jonas saying 1, 2, 3, and Ken saying whiskey. We got Whiskey says hey there to Ken. Munchie says hi to Whiskey. We got Whiskey then says hi there to Munchies. We got Ken saying, but why 1.3? What's great about 1.3? Nothing is great about 1.3. 1.3 is the devil's work.
Yep. And all I can say is if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And if you want to know,
Just ask.
just ask. Ken says, LOL. Jonas says, all I just came up with a new challenge. Plow all the fields on 4 fields with a one. Oh, Jonah, that is evil.
Oh,
With a 1.3 meter plow
oh.
without AI or GPS, I will be. Oh my goodness, Jonah.
There's something wrong
Okay,
with you.
Jonah, if that's what you're gonna end up doing, dude, I'll see you in your 90s, still just chugging away.
Yeah.
Jonas says, ignore that last bit. Yeah, I wonder why. Let's see. We got Munchie says 1.3 is better than 1.2, but not as good as 1.4. Munchies. I tell you what, man. We'll fill you in. We'll fill you in, but holy smokes, 1.3 is not good.
No.
Not good at all. Jonah with a LOL. Chat, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. This is good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Doing fantastic, chat. Thank you so much for asking. Munchie says hi to chat. We got Jonah says hey to chat. Also got Ken saying what up to chat. Kobe Gaming, how you doing? Hope you're having a great one as well. Says hi everyone. Munchie says hi to Kobe. We got Kobe says hi to Munchie. Chet says getting used to retired military life. Well, thank you for your service there, Chet.
Yes,
Greatly,
thank you.
greatly appreciate it. Chet says driving my wife nuts. That is our job, Chet. That is our job to drive our wives nuts.
Yep.
If we don't drive them nuts, who's gonna drive them nuts?
Right.
But that's also why you earn the brownie points. I've mentioned this many times before. Make sure you have more brownie points stocked up on the back burner than you have no points from the times that you're annoying them. As long as you're doing that, you will have a happy wife. Just throwing that out there. Or at least one that'll tolerate you when you annoy them.
Right.
Samuel, how's it going, Samuel? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It says, hiya, BDD, y'all. And for Happy Memorial Day weekend. Yes, Happy Memorial Day, and thanks to all the men and women out there for whom we are memorializing. We got Chet that says, hi, Samuel, how you doing today? Samuel says, with the thumbs up. Chet says, it's a bittersweet day for me. I've lost brothers and sisters in arms. Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely a bittersweet holiday. But, again, thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that you've gone through. And thanks to all the men and women who have sacrificed and even made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you all so very much. Let's see. Lisa says hello to everyone. Chet says it hurts thinking about them. I have no doubts about that, Chet. No doubt whatsoever. Yeah, man, that's absolutely rough. Samuel with a 1, 2, 3, 4 and an LOL. Jonah with the hey, that's my job. LOL. Jonah, you have been replaced. And I'm all caught up.
By the way, Munchies, what's up? All right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Kloss Mega 208/218. This is by DB Modding. This is going to be 39.47 megabytes to download. So with the harvester itself, you have a price tag of $90,000. You do have a horsepower range between 235 and 270. You do have a tank capacity of 8,000 liters. You have a fuel tank capacity of 500 liters. And then for the C600, which is the header, you have a price tag of $25,000, working with the 6 meters. And then the C600 header trailer, your price tag of $1,000. I do like this.
So this is where I chime in with, oh, it's 40 megabytes and da 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 and all that stuff. That's not what I'm going to do here. I'm actually going to say download this one. This is worth the 40 megabytes. Now here's why. Again, 40 megabytes to install, 90,000 to buy, engine power 235, and 8,000 liter capacity. So if we take a look at our closest comparable, the closest one is the Kloss Avion 450 or the Massey Ferguson 8570. Now we can even use the Massey Ferguson because that's going to be a close comparable. Now, 104,500 for the Massey. This one is $90,000. You're saving 15 grand right off the bat from the Massey. 8,000 to 8,000 capacity, so you're getting the same thing right there. But you're getting a horsepower from the Massey of 250. This is only 235, but it can go up to 270. Now, the working width on this one is 6 meters. The Massey's working width is also 6 meters on its header. So, all in all, this one is a little bit cheaper. If you look at the Kloss as a comparable, that's $226,000. So, you're saving quite a bit of money off the Kloss, not so much off the Massey, but it's still really good. So, all in all, it's a nice looking mod. It definitely has some, nice old school features that I personally like. And I mean, 40 megabytes, yeah, that's high up there, but you do get a pretty decent cost savings.
Oh yeah, 100%. So your next one is going to be the talk. The next one is going to be the Homer pack. This is by Hispano.
Words are hard, don't worry.
Right. English hard. Let's see. This is going to be 135.82 megabytes to download. I'm not going to list all these off, but basically you got 2 vehicles and a bunch of attachments for it.
This is a hard pass for me. 135, almost 136 megabytes to install this. Yeah, you do get a lot. I mean, you get vehicles, you get distributors, you get tanks, you get trailers, you get spreaders. I mean, you get a bunch of stuff with this pack, and that's nice. But, I mean, that's why we got tractors. That's why we got all these individual components. I mean, I don't necessarily need to have something that is going to do all the jobs all in one, especially at 135 megabytes, 36 almost. And I mean, you're talking a fairly small-ish size map. So I would go with the map rather than this, personally. So again, nothing against it. Hispano makes some great mods. It's just this one's not for me.
So Jonah says, Jonah was here. Let's see here. Next one is going to be T-Wolf Agripower. This is by MTL Modding Team. This is going to be 22.39 megabytes to download. You do have a price range between $199,500 to $224,500. You do have a horsepower range between 700 and 900. I mean, this was a pass for me personally.
I love this one. Love this one. Now here's why. 23 megabytes to install. It's below my threshold. That's awesome because I look for a 25 megabyte threshold for my mods. Then you do the comparable shopping. So the closest one we have, or the power range that we have, this is 700 horsepower starting. So that puts you into the Kloss Xerion 12 category. That has a power of 585 starting. Now, really, you could look at the Case Steiger 715 quad track at 778 horsepower. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go with 700 with 700. Why not? Because really, I want to really kind of point this one out. Yeah. The reason I like this one so much is that this has a 3-point link attachment in both the rear and the front. That's awesome. So this is essentially a tractor with the kind of working capacities of, say, a Fendt 1100 or a John Deere 8RT. It's essentially just a track tractor. But the prices is where this is going to stand out. Even looking at the Claas, $565,000 for the Claas. This is less than 200,000 starting at 700 horsepower. You can get it up to $224,000 for the 900 horsepower, which blows everything else out of the water. Everything else. Even at its highest capacity, at its highest price for 900 horsepower, the case is $685,000.
Yep.
You're saving over $400,000 and getting about 125 extra horsepower. This thing is an absolute behemoth of a vehicle. Get this one. This one is amazing.
When I first saw that, I'm like, oh, I know who's gonna like that one.
Oh yeah, I love this one. I absolutely love this one. I mean, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts to have 900 horsepower for $224,000. The whole reason why I don't typically use like the Prinroth, the base game one, even still, that's 435 horsepower to it. I don't think it has, or no, it does have a rear three-point link, the base game one. It does have that kind of plow thing in the front,
Yeah.
the leveler in the front. But I mean, all in all, I mean, still 343 horsepower for a starting tractor with only a rear three-point link is not that bad. So you can get a lot of stuff done with this. But this is just as universal as any other tractor out there, and it has the 900 horsepower capacity. I mean, holy smokes. This is a tank. This is a tank of a tractor. Love this.
Let's see. I mean, to me, it's too unrealistic. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Ponzi Forwarder Pack. This is by HR Forst and Fajigbao. It's going to be 135.68 megabytes to download. You got, is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4 vehicles. This was a hard pass.
Hard pass, yeah. I mean, 136 megabytes to install right off the bat. I mean, you're talking a real hard pass. And it's already a real hard one for me because it's forestry equipment. So it's you got to be something really, really special in order to, kind of get on my radar when it comes to forestry. And this one, I mean, it might do some stuff that, some of the other stuff doesn't, but we've got base game stuff that works essentially the same as this stuff. So this one's just going to be a pass, and I'm going to, have the 136 megabytes to use as a map.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Borgolt SPS 30. The Borgolt SPS 360-40. This is by Hispano. This is going to be 18.31 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $152,500. You're working with 12.2 meters. You have a horsepower requirement of 385. I like this. I installed this.
See, this one again is a hard pass for me. So this is a cultivator. It's 18, almost 19 megabytes to install. And yeah, we're talking $153,000 almost, and 12.2 meter working width. Requires 185 horsepower. That is a lot of stuff to list off. But when we look at our comparables, we have the Vaderstadt NZ Extreme 1425. That is going to be our closest one. Now, we take a look at our working widths. The Borgolt is 12.2 meters. The Vaderstadt is 14.3. So the Vaderstadt is already bigger by over 2.1 meters. Mm-hmm. Then we take a look at our horsepower requirements. The requirements for the Borgolt is 385. The Vaderstadt is 400. And then we look at our prices. Prices is where this one really kind of sets itself apart. The Vader stat, $128,000. This is $152,500. Right there, you're already going to have to spend an additional $25,000 for a smaller piece of equipment and slightly, about 15 extra horses less than what you'd have to get for the Vader stat there. So all in all, this one is going to be a pass for me because I don't want to have to spend an extra 25 grand just to have 2 meters less working with.
I mean, I use this a lot in the 22. Yeah. I also use it a lot in, what was it, 19? We got this first, yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Pitts.
Oh, before we move on, real quick, breaking news. Samuel says that Duck Dynasty star Phil Robinson passed away at age 79 today.
I never really watched that show.
That is a bummer. I really like that show.
Sucks.
Yeah, that is a bummer. That's All right. Anyways, I didn't mean to derail. I just saw that and I wanted to,
Oh, you're good.
you know.
You're all good, man. Let's see. This next one is going to be Pitts LB55-DC. This is going to be by Gamer Design and Roughneck Modding Crew. This is going to be 20.71 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $30,000. This was a pass for me.
See, this one I like. Now, here's why. If we kind of look at our closest comparables, it's going to be based on the looks alone, it's going to be the Brandt H550 Beaver Tail. Now, the reason I'm using that one is because, again, just how they kind of look, they look very similar to one another. Now, we take a look, 20.71 megabytes, so 21 megabytes to install, and $30,000 to buy. That compared to the Brandt at $106,000. Again, they look awfully similar, and I don't see anything from the Brandt that's going to kind of stand out as a kind of party piece that this thing wouldn't have as well. So yeah, I would. Even if we look at pretty much every low loader that we have available, the Demco, the cheapest Demco, is the steel drop deck is $46,500. This is 15 grand, $16,500 cheaper than even the cheapest one here. And this one has the triple axle design to where the Demco only has a dual axle. So I think that this is going to be kind of a big one. If you're looking for a nice low loader, take a look at this one.
Wait. Let's see. Next one is going to be Lizard Forest Trailer Pack. This is by HR Forest and Vigigbao. It's going to be 31.71 megabytes to download. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 different versions in here. This is a pass for me.
Yeah, same here. We've got plenty of trailers that will, do this kind of a party piece again. So this really, for me, doesn't stand out as any kind of forestry bit of equipment that I'm going to want to have to handle. That's going to do something, that we don't already have access to. So all in all, this is going to be a pass for me.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Mechanical Log Leveler Pack. This is also by HR Force and Vigigbao. This is going to be 10.54 megabytes to download. It's for 3 to 6 meter logs only. So you got 3 meter, $5,000, 4 meter, $6,000, 5 meter, $7,000, 6 meters, $8,000. This is very unique. It's still a pass for me, but it is very unique though.
So this one I actually like. This is something because of how unique it is. This one actually made it into my downloads. 11 megabytes to install, and yeah, it does only do 3, 4, 5, or 6 meter working widths. But essentially, this is just a tree organizer. When you've got these big bunctures and stuff that you have a large amount of trees, you just basically wedge this thing inside and it kind of collapses and kind of pushes all the logs together so you have a nice neat stack right next to each other. So it's really cool. I do like this. Um, so yeah, this is one that I did install and I do like it.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Krone ZX 560 GD. This is by Hispano. This is going to be 23.14 megabytes to download. Of course, it's all in Spanish. So you have a price tag of $161,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 240. I believe that's what it is. And you have a capacity of 56,000 liters.
So 24 megabytes to install. It's towards the top end of my, self-imposed limit. $161,000 to buy and 56,000 liter capacity. Our closest comparable is going to be the Bergman Shuttle 490S. That is, let's see, $165,000. So this is already going to save you $4,000. Capacities. The Bergman is 49,500. This is 56,000. So this has got a much larger capacity, nearly 6,000 liter capacity increase. So it's cheaper, it's bigger, and if we take a look at the horsepower requirements, 240 versus 300 with the Bergman. So cheaper, less horsepower, bigger capacity, and less than 25 megabytes to install. This is a win. Absolutely jump on this one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you definitely like using the Ford wagons, yeah, most definitely. So your next one is going to be the Fiat Weight. This is by Edmund and CR82. This is going to be 6.12 megabytes to download. So it comes in a single weight with bar, double weight with bar. So basically you go from 600, 620, 1200 to 1220. This is a pass for me. A weight's a weight.
It's a wait. Moving on.
Actually, moving on. Next one is going to be Large Machine and Implement Shed. This is by Rockhound Modding. This is going to be 22.67 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $80,000 and a daily upkeep of 15. This was a pass for me.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that there are other modders besides ICUS that are making barns and buildings? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's not true. Not happening. Jokes aside, 23 megabytes to install, $80,000 to buy. It looks nice. There's really no way for me to do a kind of comparable shopping for this one because we don't have like dimensions or anything like that. But all in all, I like it. It does look like it has a nice design to it. You take a look. I like the brickwork on the bottom and the kind of side paneling on the sides. The nice outer lighting that kind of shines out of the building. Again, that's really nice. And then having the kind of covered awnings on the side. It's again really, really nice. You got some outside storage, some inside storage. All in all, it's nice. And $80,000 is not that bad for what appears to be a pretty decently large building. So, all in all, yeah, this is going to be a good one. It's a little bit high for the size for me, though.
Yeah.
23 megabytes for that one is a bit on the high side, but all in all, it's okay.
So your next one is going to be Vehicle Workshop. This is by Pascal Coates. It's going to be 10.95 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $225,000. You have a daily upkeep of $225 a day. This was a pass for me.
This is a pass, but 11 megabytes is not that bad. $225,000 for a building is a lot of money to spend. Now, I will say it's highly detailed. Like, I'm shocked that this is only 11 megabytes to install. I would imagine that the slot count is going to be rather up there, especially when you see this screenshot here, screenshot number 2, and you see kind of internal bays that are at play here. You can see all the steelwork, the lighting, the just there's a tons of stuff, and it's got the enterable building portion of it where you can actually go into the office portion. It looks like it has an upstairs office, like a kind of conference room, as you can see in this screenshot. Like, it's highly detailed. So I mean, it's really nice. And if you're doing like a role play or that kind of style, I mean, this almost looks like it could double up as a kind of firehouse kind of thing. Like that, it just kind of has that kind of look to it. But all in all, I think this is a really cool looking mod, but it's going to be a pass for me because 225,000 for a repair trigger at the end of the day is just too much for me.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the placeable gas station. This is by Rockhound Modding. This is going to be 3.69. Nice. Megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $30,000. You have daily upkeep of $5 a day.
I mean, it's a gas station. At the end of the day, it's way for you to get gas and whatnot. But I mean, kind of doing. Let's see. I gotta find it because it's always eludes me. Containers. There we go. I mean, you can get essentially the same thing out of a small petrol tank or the medium or large petrol tanks. I mean, for 30 grand, yeah, this is one where I believe you have to actually buy the gas, like it's purchasable at that point. Towards the fuel tanks, you can buy a bulk volume and then kind of fill your tractors and implements. But I mean, 30 grand for you to then have to go around and buy the gas as to compose to even the largest petrol tank at 25,000 liters is $26,500. So, I'm probably going to pass on this.
Me too, 100%. Next one is going to be Supermarket Productions. This is by Let's Be Having Moo. What a name. This is going to be 75.62 megabytes to download. There are 50 new recipes across 12 factories. You got 7 new fruits and vegetables. There's one thing I do want to say about this. A, I'm not going to read off everything, but B, be aware if you are using this mod. The only reason why I'm going to say that is because the base game only accepts so many new fruit types. So I know a lot of people were basically like, well, this isn't showing up, this isn't working. It's because if you have too many fruit types, this won't show up. So.
Yes. So I ran into this back in FS22, where I had way too many stuff installed, and then it started like not showing up vital fruit types. And in my case, it was the premium expansion where that stuff wasn't showing up. So, and it took me a long time to realize what had happened. I had actually gone through and deleted a bunch of stuff. So be aware. Now, this adds a ton of different fruit types and different production points and the whole 9 yards. I mean, 76 megabytes to install is not that bad when you consider you're getting what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 different categories of productions for this pack alone. That's not that bad considering. And you're doing a ton of different product types as your outputs. I mean, you even get like a pig farm that will produce pig manure as its own byproduct from the pigs themselves. And then you use that byproduct in the greenhouses and stuff like that. So, I mean, it does an absolute ton. This mod does a ton. But this is going to be a pass because of the high size for the actual pack itself. which normally for me for productions is not a deal breaker. The size typically, as long as it's not like 400 megabytes,
Right.
unjustifiably so, I can look beyond that. But what's going to be the kind of killer for me is the number of fruit types that are added to this that is going to then impact the amount of additional fruit types that you can have beyond that. And I don't know what the additional amount of fruit types you can have beyond base. So it's one of those that, although it's nice to have, this is going to be something that I'm going to pass on.
Right. So your next one is going to be the Debris Crusher. This is by Rockhound Modding. This is going to be 1.43 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $550,000. No, sorry, $55,000. And you have a daily upkeep of 5.
I like it. I like it a lot. 2 megabytes to install and 55,000 to buy. This is essentially just a stone get point. Because once you install it, it starts producing stones, and it produces at a faster rate and at a larger quantity.
Yep.
To where the production increase, according to the description, says has been increased to 8,000 liters per hour.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to get a ton of stones really, really quickly with this. So if you're doing things like the cement factory, or if you just want stones for whatever purposes you want stones for, here you go. This is going to be a good way to get it. Um, all in all, 2 megabytes, price 55,000. This is a good one. I'm going to get this.
Yeah. So your next one is going to be the Brick Fence and Metal Gate. This is by Maka. And this is going to be 4.66 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $100, and for the gates, $120. This is a pass for me. It looks good, but it's a pass for me.
Looks really good. I do like the look of it. It is going to be a pass for me as well. 5 megabytes to install fencing is just not something that I'm going to do. But it is a nice looking fencing. I do like that kind of design to it.
Let's see here. Next one, or last new mod for Thursday. This is going to be the Community Farm Sign by Squizzle. Love the name. It's going to be 5.87 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $25. I wish that thing cost $25. Daily upkeep is 0. I really like this.
I think it looks great. 6 megabytes to install and $25. I mean, all in all, if you want just a cool little sign to it, yeah, it's nice. It's got the nice little lighting there as well. So, all in all, if deco is your thing, then this is going to be a good one. But completely up to the individual.
All right, BDD, what was your favorite mod from Thursday?
Oh, whoops. Let's see. My favorite mod from Thursday would likely have to be the T-Wolf Agripower. I just think that a tractor that gives you up to 900 horsepower for less than $225,000 is an absolute deal breaker. I love it. Absolutely love that.
So for me, it would have to be the Boreal SPS 360-40. I used that a lot in previous games, so I was very happy when that came out. So
Very nice.
let's see. Let me make sure I'm actually doing this right. Okay, so not so on Tuesday mods, we're gonna go over this other one when we get to that point. There is one update that I do want to go over real quick from Thursday, and that's
Okay.
the Grain Dryer Production by Superfly 1842. This is 11.83 megabytes to download. You have a update 1.1.0.0. Added grain dryer with auger system built in. Reduced price of grain dryer and increased sell price of dry crops 10%. I thought that was a great update.
Yeah, being able to have a kind of built-in auger system is really nice because I don't know about anybody else, but me personally, I'm not huge into having to use the augers. That's why I tend not to use the flat bottom bins like the silos. Um, but having the augers kind of built in, whatnot, makes that kind of alleviated out. So I like that.
All right, now we're moving on to Wednesday's mods. Do you want to come up with your chat real quick before we continue?
I do, I do. So we've got, let's see, Jonah with the long spelling of uh, oh no, you're not. And then we've got Samuel also saying about Phil Robinson, which is incredibly sad. Luke with the what? Samuel also says, look now at Google, search Duck Dynasty cast star Phil Robinson. And Ken says that's sad, 100%. We got Samuel says, thanks you, BDD, no problem. Chet says they need to log auto loads. Yes, they absolutely do. I think they have something like that for PC players, but for consoles, we get the shaft again, unfortunately. Munchie says, who here is on console and who is on PC? I am on console myself. We got Munchie says PC here. We got Ken that says console here. Ken also says Wilty plays on both console and PC, and then BDD on console. Pippa, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hi there, BDD, and has a 1 month member chat. Thank you so very much, Pippa. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And I'm all caught up.
Perfect. Let's see. Uh, let's see. As soon as I saw this, I knew for a fact that this would ring someone's ear. Next one's going to be the Fent Vario Forestry Edition Pack. This is by Chris S. and Riley S. This is 41.18 megabytes to download. You have the Fent 1000 V Vario Forestry Edition. You have a base price of $300,000. You have a base horsepower of 396. That's just the capacity for fuel. You have the Fent 700 V Vario Forestry Edition. You have a base price of $225,000. You have a horsepower of base horsepower of 203. Then you have the Fent 200 V Vario Forestry Edition. You have a base price of $85,000. You have base horsepower of 79. Now, all of these, except for the last one, so the first two, go up to 5,000 horsepower, I think it is.
Yeah, so it would not be a Chris S. and Riley S. mod if it didn't do something in the realm of ridiculous. And in this case, it engages ludicrous speed. And I really hope that people out there get that reference. Anyways, yeah, so for 42 megabytes to install, it is a bit high. Now, you do get a couple of different style of tractors. You get the Fent 1000, the Fent 700, and the Fent 200. Now, of these, I believe it's the Fent 200 that we don't have access to, but the other two I do believe we have in some way, shape, or form. Now, they're in line with the pricing, with the exception of... Nope, I'm sorry, I lied. These are cheaper. These are considerably cheaper. The Fent 1000 Vario is $382,000 base price, and the price of the Fent Vario Forestry Edition is $300,000. So you're saving $82,000 for just a Fent with the same base power structure, 396 horsepower. That's really nice. Let's see. Do we have a Fent 700? I think we do. Yes, we do. 700 Vario. So base price for the Fent 700 Vario base game is $249,500. This one is $225,000. So you're talking almost a $25K reduction in price. And then we don't have the Fent 200, so I'm not going to compare that one. So if you're looking for cheaper alternatives to the Fent lineup, here you go. This is going to be a good one. And of course, Chris S. and Riley S. made them with ludicrous speed. I think they go up to 200 miles an hour, if I'm not mistaken, they will.
Yep.
Yeah, 200 miles an hour. So if you want to engage in ludicrous speed, here you go. And I like it.
Pass for me. But let's see here. Next one. Oh boy. Next one is New Holland TL Exodus series 2014. This is by Farm Central Seoul. This would be 44.08 megabytes to download. You have a base price tag of $70,000. You have engine horsepower varies between 78 and 98. This was a pass for me.
This is going to be a pass for me as well. 45 megabytes to install, so it's already over the threshold. 70,000 to buy and 78 horsepower base to start. That's going to put us in Zader Proxima HS territory. Now, the Proxima only costs $60,000, so you're saving $10,000 with the base game rather than the New Holland here. And then price that you're going to get for your engine size. I mean, the engine size for the New Holland here is 78 horsepower. The Zader is 76, so you get 2 extra horses with the New Holland at a cost of $10,000. I'm going to save that $70,000, not getting the New Holland. I'm going to save the 45 megabytes to install this and completely pass on by it. Although I will say it does look really sharp.
Oh, yeah. So here, next one is going to be the Kloss Harvester 500,000 edition pack. This is by Nico 255. It's going to be 86.93 megabytes to download. There's a lot in this pack. So you have a Kloss Trion 720, 750. You have a Kloss Lexion 6900, 8900. And then you have a couple different headers with it. This was a pass for me.
Also going to be a pass for me. Almost 87 megabytes to install. And we have a Lexion 6900, so that's kind of a extra, and that's base game. Now, we don't have the Trion, though, so that one is a kind of standalone. But again, 90 megabytes to install this, as opposed to just kind of saying, okay, just skip over it. And the closest comparable for that Trion there at 10,500 liters is going to be the Case Axoflow 7150. So this costs $357,500. The case costs $301,500. So you're already spending $56,000 more to have this as a kind of standalone and getting a duplicate in the Lexion. Those right there off the bat is going to be a hard pass for me. But then again, looking at capacities, 10,500 for the Kloss versus the 10,570. So you're losing out on 70 liters getting the Kloss as opposed to the case. So yeah, all in all, it's just nothing's adding up. And then you look at the power. 367 horsepower for the Kloss as opposed to the case's 449. So yeah, all in all, the case is going to be cheaper, bigger, better.
Yep.
And we got a 6900 already base game, so not worth the 90 megabytes to install.
Right. So your next one's going to be Sheds Pack. This is by Honor Emre. This is going to be 5.36 megabytes to download. You have 2 sheds, so you have small ones. You have a price tag of $10,000, daily upkeep of $100. And then you have large ones. You have a price tag of $20,000, daily upkeep $200. This was a pass for me. But
I mean, 6 megabytes to install, $10,000 to buy, or $20,000 for the big shed there. It's not that bad. It does have a good little design to it. It does have that kind of dirty, almost rustic look to it. All in all, I don't see anything about this that would make it a disqualification, especially considering the file size is less than 6 megabytes. Yeah, all in all, I could be on board with this.
let's see here. Next one is going to be the Hatzenbuehler Terminator 18/TH 1400. This is by Hispano. It's going to be 39.86 megabytes to download. Now for the Terminator 18, which is the Cedar, you have a price tag of $213,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 450. You're working with 18 meters. Now as for the TH 1400, this is going to be the hauler in the back, the seat hopper. You have a price tag of $99,000. You have a capacity of 10,120 liters and 4,600 liters. So that's of seed and fertilizer, or fertilizer seed. This was a pass for me.
Yep. Not only is this a pass for me, this is going to be a hard pass for me. So 40 megabytes to install. So right there off the bat, you're committing a lot of megabytes for this. 213,000 for the actual Cedar components, and then an additional $99,000 for the actual seed tank. Now that right there is a grand total of over $300,000 for a tool that does 18 meters for working with. So right there, it's like, ooh, that's a big investment, and you have to have 450 horsepower to be able to lug this thing around. So I have the closest comparable of the Amazon Satan 15001C. That is a base game seeder, does both seed and fertilizer. And if we take a look, the price for the Amazon is $206,500. That, again, does seeding, it does the tank, it does everything. And it does it for the less than just the cedar component. Now, the problem is that you need to have the tank component as well in order to make the cedar work. So you have to buy these as a pair. So you're going to save over $100,000 just going with the Amazon. Then you take a look at working widths. The working width on this one is 18 meters. The Amazon is 15. So you lose 3 meters. 3 meters. That's it.
Right.
That right there, for $100,000 plus savings and only losing 3 meters, I'm gonna go with the Amazon all day, all night. So that's a pass for me on this one.
So your next one is going to be the Anderson Group TSR 3450. This is also by Hispano. This is going to be a 6.33 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $90,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 130, and it can hold up to 14 square bales. I like this.
I like it as well. And apparently this has turned into the Hispano week. We had a load of stuff come from Hispano. But taking a look at this one, we have, there we go. Probably the closest comparable is going to be the Accrusion FSX 6372. The number of bales that we can do with the Anderson is 14. The number of bales we can do with the Accrusion is 14. So it's exactly the same. Horsepower requirements. The Accrusion does not say the horsepower requirement, but this one has a horsepower requirement of 130. I'm going to presume that the Accrusion is around the same. And then 90,000 for each one of these. So it just really depends on how you want to be able to lug around your square bales. The reason I say that is that the Accrusion does the vertical stacking. This one does horizontal along the ground stacking. So this is just a pusher. It just kind of, takes your stack bales and just kind of, shoots them onto the ground. As you can see in this screenshot here, it just lifts and pushes. Very similar to the round bale picker that we have, the other Anderson RMB 2000. So it's kind of similar to that, to where the Accrusion does the kind of whole folds up vertically, stacks them all high, and then lets go of them from there. So just depends on the style at which you want to dump these out, because essentially everything else is the same, and it's 7 megabytes. I think that you are at that point able to pick and choose how you want to stack your bales, whether vertically or horizontally.
Right.
So it's good either way.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Nordkirchen. This is by Freck-93. It's going to be 309.83 megabytes to download.
So this one for me, I was not a huge fan of. And I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So a little bit below average. The things that I didn't care about it, if I remember correctly, unfortunately, I don't remember a lot about this map, but I think one of the things, if I remember correctly, was the color palette. There was so many flowers, there were so many things that were all across this map that really kind of made it feel cartoon-like. And you can see in some of these screenshots exactly what I'm seeing here, the kind of number of wildflowers that are lining the creek beds here. You've got all sorts of different just colors just popping everywhere. And something else I noticed about this map is it seemed very bright. Like I got a screenshot of this map, and when I took the screenshot, I didn't realize it at the time, but I noticed it after everything was said and done. When I started editing the actual thumbnail and doing all that stuff, it's significantly brighter than any of my other thumbnails are. Like significantly brighter, and I don't know why that is. But I mean, it's just one of those where the map kind of felt bland. It was very flat. There wasn't much going on for it, and for the things that I look for. But if you're looking for something that's, relatively flat, doesn't have kind of normal square fields as you can see here, I mean, all in all, I can see this being a kind of good introductory starter map for those who are trying to learn Farming Simulator. But for me personally, it just wasn't my cup of tea. And again, the color palette wasn't that great. The undulations were nearly non-existent. So yeah, all in all, just not a fan of this one.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Lady Hill. This is by FS Landscaping. This is going to be 373.34 megabytes to download.
So for this one, take everything I just said before and inverse it. This one I really, really liked. I gave this a 4 out of 5. So this one was really, really close to pushing towards the top end of my scale. Now, undulations were amazing. The color palette, again, it was really toned down. It just felt natural. And Lady Hill being based off of a Northern Ireland area, I think this map was absolutely fantastic. You start out on a very kind of compact farm, but it's not so compact, like very kind of European style, where it's you got to be like pinpoint precise in your driving. The road networks are very open to where, again, you can have larger bits of equipment, but there's really no need because a lot of the fields are smaller. So again, it's not going to give you that kind of congested feeling that a lot of European maps will give you. And it's got a cool little feature of the kind of racing track that's in the kind of I think it's northeastern corner of the map. But all in all, it's fantastic. There's a couple little issues that I came across on this map, but a quick update later and it'll be fine. And I don't think there's any issues where it's going to be like, oh, well, now you got to require a new save game and it's going to be a complete like waste of time kind of thing. So all in all, I think that this is an absolutely fantastic map and definitely one that people should give a check.
All right. And as we all know, there were no mods on Tuesday. So we're on the last day, Monday.
Do we want to pick our favorites from
Oh, yeah,
that group?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say the Fentvario Forestry Edition by Kristen O'Reilly S.
I'd have to go with the Anderson Group TSR 3450.
Booyah.
Now, as for Monday mods, I'm going to start with this one. So it's going to be the Lizard Superior and Dump Trailer Pack. This is by Carl Farms. It's going to be 91.76 megabytes to download. Now, this did come out with an update. It's like a hot fix. We got update 1.0.0.1. Fixed trailer resetting to shop with single lift wheel configs. Fixed trailer component collisions filters. Fixed cover option collision issues. Fixed dolly trailer attachment joint, and fixed missing tarp supports on 40-foot variant. I love this. I was very happy when this came out.
92 megabytes. 92 megabytes. Unfortunately, that is a ton for a trailer. And again, taking a look at the prices, 60,000, just looking at the first one, the 20 footer, $60,000 to purchase for 38,000 liters. So you're almost doubling the amount of price per 1,000. So yeah, this one's just not a good one for me. So I'm going to pass on it.
I was waiting a while for that one to come out. Let's see. Next one is going to be the Lexion 560 590 US. This is by EED123. This is going to be 97.25 megabytes to download. You do have the class Lexion 570 595. The year manufactured 2003 2010. So you have price tag, a starting price tag at $220,000. You have a horsepower range between 301 to 465. You do have capacity ranges between 10,500 to 12,000. That's 600 liter diesel capacity, and it does come with multiple headers and some header trailers. I love this.
It is a sharp looking mod. Now, I will say 98 megabytes is a lot. A lot. Now, we take a look at our closest comparables. We have the Case Axle Flow 7150. Again, a capacity on this of 10,500 compared to the Case's 10,570. The prices. This has a price of $220,000 compared to the Case's $301,500. So you're going to be saving about $80,000 by getting this. But then we look at power. The Case has a power of 449. This has a power of 301 horsepower. So you're talking, well, almost 150 horsepower loss. So all in all, it's a lot in the price department. You are saving a lot of money. You are not gaining anything capacity. You're actually losing a lot in the power and a 98 megabyte file size. All in all, this one is going to be a hard pass for me just because of that megabyte size is a lot to swallow.
I get that.
But it does look great.
Yeah. Let's see. Your next one is going to be the Fendt 1000 Vario series. This is by Paul Period. So you gotta say that because the little period right after Paul. It's gonna be 64.51 megabytes to download. You have multiple versions of these. This was a pass for me.
65 megabytes to install. Right there is a very hard limit for me because we already have the Fendt 1000 Vario. This is just different versions of that 1000 Vario. We got this S4, the Gen 2, and the Gen 3. I mean, all in all, even if you go with the Gen 2, you are saving only, what, 20 grand?
Yeah.
And you're installing 65 megabytes worth of file. You're not getting any additional power. You're not getting any bells and whistles. Yeah, you can open doors. You can open doors and you can do things like that in the windows and all that stuff. But again, for me personally, that's not good enough for a 60 plus megabyte file size when we already have the tractor already in game. So there's no kind of bells and whistles that are going to make me jump out and say, yes, I've got to spend this, almost 70 megabytes to install in order to be able to have this specific version of it.
Right. Exactly. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Valtra Velmet Series 8x50. This is by Achy Wasty. I don't know if that's or Achy Wastel. It's going to be 20.94 megabytes to download. Whew, I'm not reading all that. This was a pass for me.
Did anybody else get achy breaky heart just go into their head the same time as I did? Don't tell my heart, my achy wasty heart. I just don't think it understand. Anyways, Closest comparables. I mean, we've got, let's see, looking at this first one here, 110 horsepower tractor. Let's see, this is listed under medium tractors, but we're going to have to go into small tractors for that capacity. We're talking about a Fendt 300 Vario. We have a price tag on the Fendt of $134,500 compared to the Valtra's $84,000 price tag. So you're talking a 50K savings. That's really nice. 21 megabytes to install. Again, not bad. Take a look at horsepower. 110 horsepower for the Valtra compared to 113 for the Fendt. You're only losing 3 horses. And yeah, all in all, I think this is actually a really good one because then you look into all the other various different stuff that you get with this pack. I mean, you can get up to, what is it, 135, 140, 160, looks like 180, 200 horsepower for $100,000. And you look at anything on that kind of spectrum, we've got, let's see, 200, about the Fendt 700 Vario at $249,500 compared to $100,000. So you can save $150,000 with getting the Valtra here, and you get 200 horsepower. The Fendt only gives you 3 extra horses. So all in all, for 21 megabytes, this one is not that bad.
So your next one is going to be the Lizard. Lizard the Beast 1000. This is by Agribussness.
The Beast.
The Beast. This will be 17.54 megabytes to download. Then you have the Beast 4x4. You have a starting price of $18,200. And you have the 6x6 starting price at $20,200. I love this.
The Beast is going to be a pass. 18 megabytes. 18 megabytes to install. Yeah, you get 140 horsepower, and you get the 4x4 or the 6x6 at up to $20,000. I very rarely use any kind of equipment like this. It's incredibly rare. So because of that, I'm just going to use the base game stuff. So that's just kind of me personally. But again, I'm not aware of any kind of bells and whistles that this has that any one of the kind of base game, like the Kubota or the, I think we got Kubotas, that they wouldn't do by themselves other than having 2 additional wheels. So yeah, all in all, it's just not one that I'm going to go jumping out to install for 18 megabytes. You don't get a big price savings compared to the Kubota here because the Kubota has $23,000. This is at maximum $20,200. So you're going to save about $2,800. It looks cool. It looks really cool. Just not something I'm going to install.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely love it. So your next one is going to be the Knervland BE6F. This is by Puzzcap and Kazan18. This is going to be 8.44 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $16,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 120. You're working with 3 meters.
Chisel back plows. I wish I could do a good sideshow Bob right now. It's like, just that kind of cringe that he does when he was trying to, end Bart. You know what I'm talking about. You know it.
What?
Anyways, taking a look at our comparables. We have the Agribussness POV5XL. That is a 2.5 meter working width. This is a 3 meter, so you get half a meter extra. Okay. We take a look at prices. $16,000 for Knervland, $16,000 for the Agribussness. So it's a push right there. So you're spending same exact amount of money for getting 0.5 meters more. 9 megabytes to install. And horsepower requirements, the Agribussness requires 160, this requires 120. So all in all, this is a better bang for your buck. You're getting more working with for the price. and you're getting less horsepower requirements. But it's a chiselback. It's a chiselback. So hard pass. Run, run, run while you still can. Run for your lives.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Donny 800 series.
What'd you call me?
This is by Edmund Espolov. Farming.
Hey, watch it now, buddy.
At CR82. I'm trying to read these names. So you have 42.07 megabytes to download.
Oh, gotta adjust myself. Oh, so we have us here a subsoiler. That
Yes.
is what this says. So taking a look at our closest comparables for subsoilers, that would be. Ooh, what do we got here? We got what kind of working widths? We don't have working widths, do we?
So it goes.
Oh wait, no wait, 2.5, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
So 2.5. So that's going to put us in the Alpago K Dino 5200 category. Taking a look at this, number one, I can tell you this is going to be a hard pass at 43 megabytes right there all by itself. But then we start looking at the comparables. Taking a look at the 805, which should be the 2.5 meter working width, the Alpago Dino is the 2 meter working width. So we do get a 0.5 meter upgrade. That's nice. And then we take a look at the prices. The Dondi 805 is $16,850. The Alpago is $10,000. So you are getting a slightly elevated than half of what you would be paying for. So it's meh, that's not good for me. And then again, taking a look at the comparables, does it show horsepower? It does. The 805 requires 130 to where the Alpago only requires 90. So all in all, it's just not one that I'm going to install because number one, it's not a brand that I've got to go run out and have.
Right.
And it's just not, that price, that 42, almost 43 megabytes for this is just a lot. Now it does look amazing. You can see all the rivets and nuts and bolts that are on these things. They look fantastic. So you can see where that file size is coming from. But all in all, just not good enough for me.
Right. Let's see. Next one is going to be the Pottinger Eurotop 340N. This is by ADA or Agra Design Austria. This is going to be 7.12 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $6,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 20 and a working width of 3.4 meters. This is a pass for me.
So 8 megabytes to install, 6,000 to buy, and a almost 3.5 meter working width. Closest comparable we have is the SIP Air 300F Alp. That has a working width of 3 meters compared to the 3.4. So you do get a little bit bigger of a working width. And then you take a look at the prices. The SIP is $15,000. This is $6,000. So you're saving almost 10 grand, about $9,000 you're saving off of this one. And then you take a look at the horsepower requirements. The SIP 100 horsepower required compared to 20 horsepower is required for this. So all in all, for less than 8 megabytes to install, this is a good one. I would install this one.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Vicon Fanax 604 and or Duetsfire Condi Master 6022. This is by Weekend Farmers. Zori Manu T4Xs. It's going to be 4.78 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $11,000, horsepower requirement of 60, working width of 6.05 meters. This is a pass for me.
So we already looked at a Fanex Tedder earlier, This is just adding the Deutz-Fahr version of the Combi Master to it, and for 5 megabytes, it's not bad. But basically, take everything I said about the previous one because it's a in-betweensy. It's in between the Pottinger and the Krone. So this one just adds a Krone version of it. So it's not bad. But if you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit bigger than the Pottinger or a little bit smaller than the Krone and somewhere in between in the prices, here you go. Here it is. And you get the bonus of the additional color palette.
Let's see here. Next one's going to be the Kloss Cordo 290 FM. This is by ADA or Agribussness Design Austria. It's going to be 8.62 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $7,500. You have a horsepower requirement of 60. You have a work width of 2.82 meters.
So this one here, for 9 megabytes to install, is going to be the closest comparable. Going to have the K-brand GMD 3123F. So taking a look at the prices, $7,500 for this particular mower compared to $13,500. So it's quite a bit cheaper, almost half the price. Take a look at horsepower. Both of them require 60 horsepower. And then working widths, the K brand is 3.1. This is 2.82. So it's a little bit smaller, but not by a lot. You're talking, what, 0.3 meters? A little bit less than that, actually. So all in all, 9 megabytes to install, almost half the price, and just a slight reduction in working width. Yeah, that's not bad. I would go ahead and install this.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Bomec Slurry Distributor Pack with Real Section Control. This is by Weekend Farmers T4Xs. It's going to be 19.11 megabytes to download. Now this is pretty interesting because by section control, you can fold in like the outer parts of the arm inwards to lower it down.
So for what purpose to be able to fold it in? Just
So for example, so for like this, so for like the Bomec Multi Profi 21/15, you have a price tag of $69. Nice, $1,500. It says working with 21 meters, 15 meters. So basically, like let's just say if you're working at 21 meters and you're like, oh well, I don't need this full thing. You can fold in the sides by hitting toggle work mode, and it'll go down to 15 meters.
oh, okay. So you can. So what I'd be interested in finding out is number one, by folding it up, does it reduce the amount of slurry digestate that's being used
Yes.
at that point? If that's the case, then that's pretty nice. That's actually really nice because if you're up to a point to where, like, hey, I've gotten all this field done and all I need is the 15 meters, and you want to reduce it and thus reduce your amount of output to save you product, then that's awesome. I like that a lot. 20 megabytes to install, and taking a look, let's see. Trying to find. That's actually up here because of course I'm going the wrong way. We've got, let's see. Looks like we got these base game, and these just kind of fold up differently. Is that kind of the? Yep,
So-
that's exactly what it is. So it's base ones are exactly the same. Everything's the same. It's just looks like this one just has the party trick of being able to fold up and work at different working widths. So if that's the case for 20 megabytes, that's a bit high for my blood, but that is a pretty decent party trick if it's going to save you, a decent amount of slurry.
Right. Do you have any chat you want to catch up real quick before we continue?
I do. We got Luke saying, going to go. Everyone have a good night. Luke, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. You hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. You take care, and we'll see you again next time. And AF Farms, how's it going, AF? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, hey, and I'm all caught up.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Gentile BR 24-32. This is by USM or Universe Simu Modding. It's going to be 13.32 megabytes to download. So you have price ranges between $58,500 to $64,250. You have capacity ranges between 31,000 and 49,000. This is a pass for me.
Also going to be a pass for me. So 14 megabytes to install, 58,500 to buy the cheaper version at 31,000 liters. Now, taking a look at our comparables, like right off the bat, we're already over the $1,000 per thousand liter that I look for. But looking at our comparables, we have the Brantner TR 340902 PT Plus. Taking a look at the prices, though, $58,500 to purchase the Gentile versus $65,500 here for the Brantner. Then taking a look at capacities, $31,000 to purchase the Gentile versus, no, I'm sorry, 31,000 liters capacity. And the capacity for the Branther is 30,000. So a little bit cheaper and a little bit more capacity, but 14 megabytes for something that's just going to be a small improvement. And again, you're not getting that cost savings of price per thousand. It's going to be a pass for me.
So your next one is going to be the Krone GX440. This is by Hans. This is going to be 8.42 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $97,000. You have a capacity of 44,000 liters. That's like not even close to being your 1-to-1 ratio.
Not even close at all. And it's nearly, well, it is. It's more than double that. So it's over the $2,000 per thousand liters. So yeah, it's automatically disqualified for that reason alone. 9 megabytes, not that bad, but it does look really sharp. I mean, it does look like a good trailer. I like the kind of folding trailer cap that this has. But again, for 9 megabytes and double the amount that I tend to go for, yeah, it's going to be a pass for me.
This year, next one is going to be Mower and Wrapper with Hitch. This is by Dogface. This is going to be 27.70 megabytes to download.
So this one here at 28 megabytes to install, what you're getting here is essentially a wrapper and mower with the attachable hitches to them. So it's nice because you have the ability to then kind of daisy chain along your group in order to be able to do things like it's showing here, where you'll be able to wrap silage bales and then pick them up all in one fluid motion. Or in this one here, where you can take your mower and then daisy chain it with a forage pickup. So all in all, it's a nice pack. We do have things like this that are similar already. And for 28 megabytes, I mean, the only thing that this comes with that the other one doesn't, as far as I'm aware, is the wrapper that will allow you to connect to things along with it, like the actual pickup trailers and stuff like that. So I do like that, but for an additional 28 megabytes for just a wrapper, I'm probably going to end up skipping this one.
Well, this mod also has a little party piece up its sleeve.
Oh, what's that?
So for the Krone and the baler, right? If you use those two like in junction, you can actually hire a worker and it will actually drop the mower and drop the baler.
Oh, nice.
So you can just set it on like an AI worker and it'll bale up everything too.
Now, the one thing I will warn against is that oftentimes when you have these mowers with a baler and stuff behind it, is that the worker tends to take a path that the baler cannot follow. So with it being so close to the rear and the mower turning so tightly, it's going to leave swaths behind. That's typically what I find with stuff like this, unless you have something with a enlarged pickup width. You're likely going to miss out on things. That's going to be my guess. I don't have that confirmed or anything, but a educated guess,
right,
is what I will call it.
I just wanted to point that out. That's all. So your next one is going to be the Goil GFM. This is by ADA or Agribussness Austria. This is going to be 4.21 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $4,000. So, and it's basically a wrap holder, so you can put your wrap on it.
I like it for 5 megabytes, and you can load wrap on it. It's a different way to kind of transport things, and to, in theory, I believe this would actually increase your capacity for your wraps. Um, because typically what ends up happening, now I haven't actually tried this and I haven't confirmed this, but typically what ends up happening is that when you connect multiple things onto a single tractor, so like for instance, you hook up a sprayer, right? And you have the rear sprayer, it has a capacity. Then you have the front tank for that same sprayer, and it increases the capacity. Well, oftentimes I would imagine this might do a similar thing to where you have to refill your implements less. And typically, what ends up happening is that the implement will actually take from the front attached thing as opposed to you actually having to drop everything you're doing, go back and load manually and do things like that. So my guess is that might happen. It might be the case, but it would be something worth exploring because nothing is worse than trying to do wraps out in the middle of a field and then all of a sudden lose on that, and then you have to make a trip all the way up to the store to get a new pack.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Fliego Bale Tools Bag. This is by ADA or Agribussness Austria. They release a lot of stuff. This is going to be 4.26 megabytes to download. It just comes with a couple different grabs.
I mean, this one for me is going to be a pass, even though it's 5 megabytes and whatnot. It's just we've got a lot of these things in base game. They're just different designs. So overall, it's just going to be something I'm going to skip over and save the 5 megabytes.
Right. Next one is going to be Lizard Bale Spear. This is by Ada Modding ABP team. This is going to be 0.97 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $600.
For 1 megabyte and $600, this is likely going to be a pass for me just because, again, I mean, we've got base game stuff that will do the same exact thing. This might save you just a little bit of money, and it doesn't actually. It's $600 for the base game pallet and skid steer bale spike. So all in all, this is just adding a megabyte to your file size when we've already got something that'll do the same exact job and do it for the same price.
Right. So your next one is going to be Autoload Bale Fork Pack. This is by Nightmare. Having a nightmare. This is going to be a 3.03 megabytes to download. Basically, it takes base game bale forks and bale spikes and makes them autoload. So you can just activate it, come right up to a bale, and goes, as you can see, it stacks them 3 up high. And then when you unload them, you basically got to unload them like you do a normal autoloader. Except you have to lower the bales to the ground and then back out.
I like this pack. For less than 4 megabytes to install, you get all these base game bale forks that are now equipped with an auto load feature. So I like that. I like it because it makes it to where you don't have to be as precise and you can kind of just rip through things relatively quickly without necessarily doing a complete immersion breakage. So there's ways around being able to have that kind of snapping auto load feature while still kind of maintaining reality, which is really nice in my opinion. So yeah, all in all, I think it's a good mod. I think it's a good one to install, and yeah, for less than 4 megabytes to install, it's a nice little feature.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Steyr Weight Pack. This is by ADA or Agribussness Austria. Once again, it's going to be 5.94 megabytes to download. Their weights.
Their weights. Moving on.
Moving on. Next one is going to be Meyer Weight Pack. This is by ADA or Agribussness Austria. Once again, It's going to be 2.62 megabytes to download. More
And
weights.
once again, their weights.
So your next one is going to be the Steel MS261C-M pack. This is by HR Force and Fujikbao. This is going to be 2.14 megabytes to download. You got a couple different chainsaws.
This is a pass for me. I mean, you're talking 3 megabytes to install some fancy pattern chainsaws.
Yep.
I mean, it's not worth it for me to be able to have a fancy pattern on my chainsaw,
Right.
so I'll go ahead and skip this one.
Let's see. Next one is going to be Old Brick Cow Barns. This is by Agribussness. This is going to be 44.81 megabytes to download. So your option one, you have a price tag of $25,000. You have a capacity of 10. Option number two, price tag of $32,000, capacity of 16. Option number three, you have a price tag of $50,000, capacity of 28. And then you have to do manure pits because there's like 8 or 10 manure pits. Ranges between $5,000 and $10,000. These look absolutely phenomenal, and you can expand the pasture out.
So for 45 megabytes to install, you do get some amazing looking buildings. Absolutely. And the fact that you can expand them out to make them more than the base capacities of 10, 16, and 28 definitely is nice. Taking a look at kind of the closest comparable that I can find, which is going to be extremely difficult, is going to be, I guess, the cow barn itself. It's the first cow barn you come across when you load up your base game menus. But this is a breeding barn, not a milking barn. I'm not certain about the one here on the mod hub. It looks like there's Holsteins inside, so there might be milk inside. Oh yeah, there's milking parlor in there. So yeah, so this one does milk, so that one's very nice. 35 cows can be held in the base game barn to where the base game maximum capacity, I'm sorry, the modded base capacity is 28. So you're talking it's about what, seven cows less. And the price though, that's the big difference. 85,000 for base game as compared to 50,000 for this mod here. So all in all, it's this one's going to be a hard one for me because it looks great, but 45 megabytes. I don't know if it's 45 megabytes great.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be American Barn. This is by Omatana. It's going to be 32.10 megabytes to download. Now for this, you do have a barn. You have a barn with metal silo, a barn with concrete silo. And then you have American Barn with hay loft, which can store hay, straw, grass, silage, corn chaff, one word, and TMR. Then you have a bale and pallet storage. Capacity is 500. And then you have a farm silo. You have a multi-fruit silo concrete. And then you have an American barn with farmhouse.
I love it. I absolutely love it. There's not a whole lot that Omatana doesn't do that I'm not like just really digging.
Love the house.
And this one's great. So 33 megabytes to install, and you get barns with silos, you get barns with hay lofts, you get multi-fruit storage. I mean, you get a whole bunch. You get bale and pallet storage, and you get one with a farmhouse, and that farmhouse looks amazing. It actually reminds me, my aunt had a barn on her property that was decked out in a very similar fashion, where the loft itself actually had a apartment that was like fully furnished out. Yeah, so when I saw this back in FS22, I absolutely loved it, and I still love it today.
Oh, wow, 100%. So your next one is going to be a Tiny Workshop. This is by Omatana. It's going to be 4.75 megabytes to download. So you get your tiny open workshop. price tag $1,000. Your tiny workshop base price is $2,000. What price tag I should say. Then your workshop trigger price tag of $100.
Again, same thing I said about Almaton's last one. I love it. You know, you're talking 5 megabytes to install, and yeah, they're repair triggers or workshops, but for $1,000, 2,000, and 100, you get really nice, highly detailed buildings that will, you know, utilize as repair triggers. So all in all, I think this is great. And again, Omatana, thumbs up.
Your next one is going to be Barnes. This is by Radx Games. This is going to be 18.33 megabytes to download. Price tag is $15,000.
19 meg. Sorry, go ahead.
And this basically is like a silo system. So you're able to store like straw, hay, and grain in different buildings.
So for 18 megabytes, 19 megabytes to install, and a price of $15,000, it's not that bad. You take a look at it, and it's very highly detailed. I love the different chambers for all the different grains that it looks like it has in this particular screenshot. But the building just looks good. It's like kind of a little bit run down, a little bit rustic looking, got some ivy on the side of it. I mean, 19 megabytes is not that bad for what you're getting here, and you're essentially getting something that's going to be a barn for machines, a silo as well, and a hayloft. So it's nice. I like it, and yeah, I would install this.
And I don't know what the slot count is, but it's probably going to be heavy because it's from Radx Games.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Next one's going to be Concrete Sheds. This is by Martin CZ. This is going to be 15.79 megabytes to download. Let's see, the concrete shed without wall. Price tag is $30,000. You have a concrete shed with wall. Price tag is $35,000. This is a pass for me.
Yeah, it's going to be a pass for me as well. 16 megabytes to install, and you're talking 30 and 35,000 respectively. Just something about it just doesn't seem, how do I put it? Just something about it just it almost seems too basic for me. Again, looks fine, nothing wrong with it. Just the kind of orientation, the layout of it, just not something that I would necessarily find useful on my particular builds. So this one's going to be a pass.
Right. Let's see your the next one is going to be Storage Hall. This is by PXLR. This is going to be 9.02 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $128,369 nice dollars. So, and it has those doors that you have to like open up one, then open up another, or you open up one, and then it closes, and then we click on it again, it closes another one, so you have to figure out your way out.
It's like playing a game of Jenga.
Yeah, basically.
10 megabytes to install and $130,000. This one is going to be a pass for me personally. I think it's nice, it's highly detailed, but for $130,000, I think there's going to be some additional options out there.
Yep. So your next one's going to be a small composite hall. This is by PXLR. This is going to be 7.54 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $65,000. This is a pass for me.
Same here. 8 megabytes. Pretty much copy and paste everything I said before.
Next one's going to be Grain Storage Hall. This is also by PXLR. It's going to be 24.79 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $476,392. And capacity is 660,000 liters. It kind of reminds me a lot of Omatanas. Wait, is it? No, Missy Bees, I think it was. It was one of them.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about. And yeah, it does have that kind of vibe to it. I do like this one for 25 megabytes to install. I guess it's a good kind of thing to compare it to, like that Missy B one, where you kind of have the silo system that's all built into it. Now, almost $500,000 for this though, but you get a capacity of what is that, $660,000, 660,000 liters. That's pretty decent size, but again, for 500K, probably going to be a pass for the most part. But I do appreciate this one. This one is really nice looking.
See, now, like, the one thing that would really get me with that one is if those areas were empty, and then when you go dump like corn in, like you see like the corn falling down into it.
Yes, 100%. That would be really, really cool if that was all animated and built in. I'm not sure if it is or not, but
No, it's not.
yeah, that would. Oh, it's not. So yeah, that's kind of a disappointment. If it had that animation, that'd be awesome. But yeah, unfortunately, no.
Next one's gonna be Gravel Factory. This is by Weasel. This is gonna be 3.55 megabytes to download. Your Gravel Factory. Which you have a price tag of $25,000. You have a gravel and sand sell point, which is a price tag of $100. Which this does require the additional fuel types by Weasel. This is a pass for me.
Yep, also gonna be a pass for me. We're getting into the territory of there being, so many different things that you need in order to be able to make just this one particular thing function. The additional fill types, by Weasel there. Just, yeah, it's one of those where I don't necessarily. How do I say this? I appreciate that this mod is making better and bigger uses of stones, but it's going to eat into the additional fill types that we have available to us. And I'm not sure that stones is necessarily ones that I want to utilize for those additional fill types.
Right, right. So here, and I think the last one is going to be a placeable ramp. This is by Carlos J.C. Eclipse. Team IWMM. This is going to be 4.06 megabytes to download. You have your big ramp, $4,500. Small ramp, $2,800. I mean, this is a pass for me.
See, this one I kind of like. For 5 megabytes to install, you have what looks to be a couple of different options where you got this kind of old and rusted looking, ramp system and a kind of sort of cleaner version of the ramp system. But I mean, all in all, if you're looking for a ramp, I mean, this, to be able to load stuff into your trailers and stuff, this is going to be a good option. It's nice and big. You can see here how to scale the high-low that was in that screenshot there is compared to the rest of the ramp. So you got to have some room to maneuver and get some things loaded up and good to go. I think it's a good one and something that I would install if ramps and kind of manual loading is your thing, but it's going to be up to the individual.
Now, real quick before you pick out the mods, I'm just going to go over this update real quick because it's a map. So you got Sunshine Forest by Carl TG. It's going to be 297.16 megabytes to download. It's going to be changed out 1.0.0.2. So you got to change that 1.0.0.2. Just fix rocks not crushable. That's it.
And I did an update video on this one, and I can confirm that the rocks are now crushable. Yeah, it's great. There are some rocks that are just kind of out in the middle of fields and out in the middle of various different areas, and this map had a feature to where you were able to take the rock breaker to be able to actually destroy them once you own the land, and it wasn't working. Now it is.
Now, what's your favorite mod from Monday?
Oof. So there was quite a bit of mods for Monday.
You could pick two. Out
of all of them, I'd have to go with probably the auto load bale fork pack by Nightmare. I like that as an option to be able to, kind of make the bales and stuff static and just make a job a little bit easier.
Now, see, for me, it was literally a tie. Like, I really could not pick. It was a tie between the Superior End Dump Trailer Pack by Carl Farms and the Class Lexion US from EED 123.
Gotcha.
Do you have any chat you want to catch up with?
I do not.
Mel, do you have time to go over news or no?
It is what, 12:15? I got about 15 more minutes.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna go off and show. I'll just talk about it just to make it simpler. Basically, there was a whole bunch of news, which if you guys want to know what it is or any news, stay up to date with anything. Make sure you check out my Facebook page, World Sea Gaming FS Encyclopedia, which I post news, anything from Giant Software, new mods, updates, anything on there. Also, I think one of the big ones that came out, there were a couple of them. The first one is from Salabuki for Iowa Plainsview. He found out a way to actually add maple syrup to the map, and then you actually have to go there, collect it from the buckets, basically. And then you have to put down an evaporator, and then you have to put down, and then you also have to basically buy or create firewood to bring it to the evaporator, and then put the sap in, and then make maple syrup. Because there's also a pancake factory on there as well.
Well, that's awesome.
So, which the exact same system that he's using on that, he's helping implement on my map. Once we get over to it, the map's on a pause right now because of my computer. So, I'm trying to think here. Another one, watch out for this week, because my best guess is either Monday or Tuesday. We're gonna see. My best guess is by Tuesday. We're gonna see patch 1.9 drop.
Sounds about right.
So, other than that, it was just news from different modders. Oh, another big one, custom modding. We now have an official release date for their Case IH planner. That's June 20th.
Ooh, nice.
It's their big one. So, I mean, other than that,
I was just going. Oh, there it is.
I mean, other than that, there really isn't that much. Just little things here and there. Other than we got some fact sheets out as well. Of course, Friday fact sheets, which we got this upcoming Friday is the last day, last Friday for fact sheets, and then we got the release. So,
Excellent.
that was basically all the main news I really wanted to go over. So,
Oh, I did find the one by Agrotonio. Looks like the new John Deere extra wide cotton baler, the CS770.
oh yeah,
That one's coming out, so that is nice. Anybody out there doing cotton, that's awesome.
there was a mod that came out in FS19 from Connect Modding. Remember, it was like the John Deere cotton harvester, and then you, and then you dumped it in a cart, and then dumped that inside of another machine that made like the big bales.
Yep.
Yeah, that's coming back.
Oh, excellent. I loved that. Actually, big shout out to Gold Gaming. He was actually, I popped into a live stream with him, and he was actually using something similar to that. He's on PC, though. So yeah, I'd love to see something like that come out to all platforms, because I loved using that in FS19. I don't think we had a, quote unquote version of it in 22. And Did we have one in 22?
It came at like the end of the it came at the end of the life cycle.
Ah,
Except that it was a different brand. It was by JD Modding ARG.
okay.
It was no, I forgot the name. It was Dolby. And it basically was a cotton picker, but it went off to the side.
Okay, yep.
Then it basically just shot right into the back of a different cart, and then you unload it.
Yep, I remember
So-
that. It was like all loose and stuff. Yep.
That is coming back as well, as far as I'm aware. So,
Nice.
so also to let everyone know as well, K Series modding did drop today, actually right before we started streaming. That their other Steiger wheel version is in game, and they do have another mod coming as well. They are bringing their Case IH Trident back for everyone, right? They are bringing back their Case IH 8900 series, which everyone absolutely loved, including me. They're also bringing back their John Deere Cedar that they made. And then one that I know, and I was really hoping it came to FS22, but it never did. But it's coming to FS25, and I'm happy to announce this because I know eventually they're going to announce this. But they are bringing back their Case IH MX series, which I am very excited about.
That's awesome. Yep.
So, and for anyone wondering, the John Deere DB120 planter from J8HG Modding is in testing right now. So,
Awesome. Awesome.
other than that, I got nothing else. so that's
Well,
all
you know
news.
what? Big, huge, amazing shout out again to Munchies Plays.
Yes.
Munchies, again, thank you so very, very much for the awesome new introductory song here for Agribusiness tonight. We absolutely love it and hope that everybody out there did too. I am planning on playing that song out of this particular stream. I think Will, you were going to do the same thing.
Yep.
Awesome. Is there anything else we want to discuss before we sign out for the evening?
There is one other thing that I wanted to go over, just real briefly.
Let's hear it.
Let's see. Let you know about. Is that I don't know. I'm not gonna find it. Yeah. Oh, here we go. For everyone wondering, for Friday fact sheet, so we got the Ford 1156 Versatile. It is going to cost at a starting price of $171,500. It does have a horsepower of 470. And it does go 12 miles an hour, so beware. And then we do have the Versatile MFWD, which I'm very excited about. You have a base price of $259,500. You do have a horsepower range between 300 and 400. Goes 24 miles an hour. And then you have the GEA EL48-8D-7900, which would be a slurry spreader. You have a starting price of $125,000. You do have a horsepower requirement of 350. You do have a capacity of 35,900 liters and a work width of 10 meters. And that does your slurry digestate. And then we do have the Vaderstead Tempo K24, which would be your planner. You have a base price starting at $290,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 365. you have a capacity of, let me see, you do have a capacity of 11,000 liters. Work with 18 meters, and it does your seed and fertilizer. And that's liquid fertilizer. Then the last one is the Brant 2500 DXT. They have a base price of $171,500. You do have a horsepower requirement of 500. And you have a capacity of 88,000 liters. So I just want to go over the fact sheets just real quick with people. So
Nice.
Other than that, no, I got nothing else. So.
All right. Well, like I said, I am absolutely just so pleased, so happy with how that song from Munchies turned out. It is absolutely amazing. Again, we're going to play it out here in just a few seconds. But yeah, we went over a lot of mods, a little bit of news here tonight, and had an absolute blast doing it, and hope that everybody here did too. Will, do you have anything to say before we sign off?
No, other than just, like I said, if you want to stay up to date, if you want to stay up to date with any news, new mods, updates, anything like that, make sure you check out my Facebook page, Will T Gaming F's Encyclopedia. You can also find me on YouTube, of course, at Will T Gaming F's Encyclopedia. You can also find me over on Twitch at SteinandAir24, which I do stream on at least 4 days out of the week. So.
Excellent, excellent. And you can find me here on YouTube, BDD Gaming. Hope everybody enjoyed it here tonight, because, again, I know I sure did. And if everybody did, please show us by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithms enjoy you doing. It shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.
Underground on coast.